So, are we ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do it.
So yes.
Okay. So, you left off in Zanuck, where Nicodemicus received a map. And there you are. Take it from there.
Nicodemicus, what does it show?
Well, it's a map here. I'll show you all. And I popped the map case. I think it was a map case.
It's a scroll.
And I'll of a scroll tube, and I'll kind of show the map, and I think the direction of where the map shows us. I think you mentioned last time that it is located on the road that we already traveled on to the city.
That's more or less correct. The map you're looking at it's a well-drawn map done by somebody who knows what he's doing or she's doing or they're doing. The map depicts the coastline. It depicts the town of Zanuck. It shows the river and all the little bridges. It shows a few local villages you don't even know anything about, and the road you came in on following the Upper Dia downstream to get to the river, to get to Lake Dyessa. It also shows a road in an area where you already passed through, branching off the main road that you do not remember seeing. And on the map, that road runs a relatively short distance and comes up to a neatly drawn tower that does not have a name written next to it. And that's what you got to see last time. The map leads to a place that isn't there, as best as you know, anyway.
Nicodemicus.
Yeah.
Does this sound like it could be your old tower from your past?
I have no clue, my friend. It does seem weird that we kind of passed this trail when we encountered the Minotaurs, and I certainly don't remember there being some sort of trail wandering off the side of the road. So it could be that in my fortitious might, I have kind of ensorcelled the tower using illusions, which will make it very difficult for us to find the tower because it will need to be kind of unsorcelled, and that will pose a problem.
Well, riddle me this, Nicodemicus. Is this tower, does it look like it's in your taste? Like, I get that you don't remember it, but like, does this look like something you'd build? Like, is this appealing to you? I mean, you would build something that you like.
Yes, definitely. Also, I would make sure that it would be not easily accessible. Also, if we look at the kind of the artistic vibe from the drawing, it looks like it's somebody spent a lot of money, a lot of effort in making this as beautiful as possible. So that certainly matches my taste.
Money, yes. Effort, no. But yeah.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
In looking at this map, you mentioned the Minotaurs. How close to the road is the site where the Minotaurs ambushed us?
Good question.
Not all that far.
Are we walking into a granted, you're not living there, Nicodemicus, but maybe somebody else is?
Likely. I'll as we travel up towards the tower, I'll keep my eye out for Minotaur tracks. Hopefully we don't come across more of them.
Yes, and I do have a habit of kind of not caring as well for my pets, so it could be that I left open a cage before I left. So there could be even more serious dangers lurking there than these.
Yeah, well, isn't that how Aldar got out?
No, Aldar got. I think Aldar's mother was responsible for that.
Is the ground dry? Like, when did it last rain? Like, can we tell anything?
It's fall. It's been a bit of a rainy season. It's not been rainy the last couple of days, though. The roads are reasonably dry and passable.
And the terrain is similar to what it was last week. It's just rolling hills, scattered trees, mostly dry terrain.
You haven't started out on the road yet.
Oh, okay.
You're still sitting in Count X's castle in Zanuck.
Right. Okay. How are you guys on spells and everything?
we used all of our spells.
Yeah, yeah. Those minotaurs gonna drain us.
And I'm assuming you're down on hit points as well. Then.
Yeah, I could be of better help. Sure.
Maybe, Oldar. Maybe it would be a good idea to kind of. You're kind of the party diplomat. Maybe it would be a good idea to see if anyone here, maybe the counts, has some information about minotaurs roaming the countryside. Because if it is like Vernon said, or Thorin, I don't, or Thorin, or Jan, I don't really remember. If it is a kind of a supernatural threat that is not specific to the region, then it might be something that there might be a reward for.
Oh, but you are the personality down here, even if you don't remember it. The one thing I wanted to ask you.
Yes, but Aldar, you do know that Nicodemicus' social skills are still lacking.
I never noticed it.
Yes, also, and it's kind of beneath me. I mean, if I go,
Okay.
I'm quite.
Aldar, I once seen you debate with the Green Dragon, so I vote for you.
And I do too.
Yeah.
You've always got my vote, Aldar.
Our holy leader.
Well, we are actually on the on the count's hall right now.
Yeah.
You are, yes. Sorry. Didn't know you were addressing me.
Okay, well, while they keep discussing if Nicodemicus is very fond of traps and everything, I approach the Count and his people. And
Maybe he has a priest that can help heal us up as
Yeah.
well. Before we...
Yeah, get us as much free stuff as you can.
Yes, if it's free, it's for me.
Okay, I ask him if he has a buffet going on or something. I approach the
Continental breakfast.
It's not exactly a buffet, but you know how it works in a castle. When it's supper time, everyone eats. You guys, as guests of the Count, as after all, Nicodemicus is apparently an old friend, eat at the Count's table. As soon as you clean up and change into some fresh clothes.
Yes, before that, I wanted to ask the Count. I wanted to tell him about the encounter we had with the dangerous minotaurs, and I wanted to ask him and his people around if it was something that would be heard of on this area, or it was something new, something eventful, meaningfully.
You're asking about whether
The Minotaurs are unusual.
Yeah.
Are unusual?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Minotaurs are definitely unusual, but not completely unheard of. The territories in the north of Enerone have a frequent problem with humanoid infestations. Minotaurs are fairly rare, though, but not completely unheard of.
Because we ran into 3 that ambushed us on the road. I presume they must have caused previous trouble with travelers or merchants, and well, they did cause trouble, but we defeated them in battle, and we are wary of the battle. We are hurt and weak, and if you kindly, sir, could provide us with the help of your clerics and your priests and your healing people.
Well, Count X says, "Of course, I see your point, sir, and would be happy to bring in the clerics of the city. It will be up to them to decide what to do for you. Of course, I can't order them around after all.
I would.
But as it happens, he says at supper, which I assume you're on your way to, the high priest will be joining us. He hasn't seen Nicodemicus in some time.
Were they good friends?
Uh, not exactly.
Okay.
He doesn't really approve of Nicodemicus' lifestyle, but the number of times that Nicodemicus was instrumental or partly instrumental in protecting the Northern Territories makes up for a lot.
Okay, then. So I am pretty sure he will see Nicodemicus with new eyes, with renewed eyes, and with fondness in his heart, because he right now is engaged in a serious relationship with my mother. So I can vouch that he is behaving rightfully, and so the priest will be, I guess, delighted to hear this. Well, thank you very much, and I'll get back to my party. We will clean ourselves up for supper.
So, at supper, you find your way. You're guided by attendants to the head table.
Oh, Chris.
Sir.
Oh, just one quick thing. I don't know if he'll appreciate it or not, but out of respect, I'm actually going to take off my armor while I'm in the castle.
Well, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
And leave your weapons in your room, except for the usual dagger, or well, in your case, I suppose there's no daggers involved, but
it's
not considered couth to arrive at the table fully armed for battle.
Well, yes, but I don't do that anywhere else.
I'm aware of that. Yes.
So
part of your religious observances, if I remember right.
Exactly, that is correct. But it's a sign of respect. In the station, I'm not going to wear armor in the Count's castle.
Yeah, I've definitely taken mine off too, but I have my +1 dagger hidden on my person, and I'm scanning the room for anything I might need to use as a
You
shield.
needn't hide it. Carrying a dagger is not uncommon.
All right, then I'm definitely carrying it.
Zanuck, I'm looking for. There we go.
I don't need a dagger. I've got 2 fists and 2 feet, and a head if I need it.
Yeah, well, you saw what I did with my hands back there at the old tavern when I beat that guy in arm wrestling contest.
Yeah. I don't need weapons. I have arms.
Indeed.
Exactly.
So,
Jan, why don't you say grace?
That is not how it's done. When the high priest of Zanuck and his chief assistants are sitting at the left hand of the count, while Nicodemicus is at his right, and you guys are down the table from him. The high priest gives a quick benediction and settles in to gorge himself on the high quality roasted meat and vegetables and so forth that are being provided. Starting with a soup course, of course. Were you going to petition the high priest for some healing?
Yeah.
Well, probably not me, but
No, I think I'm fine with hit points, but Armstrong must be really down. I don't know.
I will point out to you, in case you haven't thought about it, that this man is technically your superior, although not directly in your chain of command.
Okay.
Top guy in a different division.
Yeah. So I approach the priest. I guess I will call him Holiness.
He's the high priest. Your holiness would be appropriate. Yes.
Okay. So do I know his name? I ask a page or someone over there for the name of the high priest?
His name is Malwyn Feld, and he is high priest, and holiness is an appropriate term for him, yes.
Malwyn. I didn't get the name right, sorry.
Hang on a minute, I'll
Would
type
you?
it.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I approach the priest and I say, Your Holiness Feld, let me introduce myself. I am Aldar, son of Kelduril. I am here with a group of friends and fellow warriors and adventurers, and we are friends of Nicodemicus, whom we just arrived with.
Oh, yes, he says. It's truly a pleasure to meet you, Brother Aldar. You are from a little town called Penwick or something like that?
Yes, exactly. I was the head priest over there. It was a little place, and well, we left to aid these my new friends and to find about as much as we could about some people there and taking our halfling Vernon to his family. And we must say we encountered on the road three sizable minotaurs that got the best of us. And
I see. And you are hoping for a little help with that. And of course, my son, of course, I'd be happy to help you. It would be inappropriate to do so at supper, but if you will bring your friends by the temple directly after, I'll be doing my evening services, and then we'll attend to your needs. You are of course welcome always in the temple. We will do our evening services, and I will attend to the needs of any of your people who are in need of healing, and hopefully everything will go better for you. But come, he says. I smell the soup. We must sit. Well, you must sit. I must pray, and then we will get on with the eating.
well, I look forward to your service tonight. Thank you very much, Your Highness.
So, supper is served, and you all eat. I'm not really planning. I didn't really plan a lot of social interaction, but if there's anybody you want to cause trouble with, Armstrong.
No, I'm good for right now. I'm ready to proceed.
Okay.
He's carb loading.
You guys visit the temple, the Triune Temple, the High Priest's own cathedral, in fact, in town. And that evening, and after the evening services, he and a couple of lower tiered priests come over and visit briefly with Nicodemicus. It seems that someone must have clued Malwyn in as to the condition of Nicodemicus's memory, because he doesn't press Nicodemicus on any matters of history, as it seems like everyone else has wanted to talk to him about his history. But he walks around and applies healing magic to everyone, and you guys walk out with all your hit points.
Hey.
I'll wait while you update your numbers.
Well, I'm glad that you all now feel better.
Hey, I got a
Very
whole
good.
one extra.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling like causing some trouble now.
Try to not get hit as much next time.
Maybe that's the reason why we try to keep Armstrong at half health.
Oh, I do try to make sure that the clerics also heal Bite Strong, because otherwise.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we didn't have any spare.
Yeah, Bite Strong is team of 13, so he only needs 3 hit points.
Yeah.
So Oldar, maybe I can pull some strings here and make sure you are the next high priest.
Oh, I think I'm going to stick with the single life. I find it helpful for me to be able to go places and not be attached to a
Yeah.
place. Actually, if
You don't want to tie yourself down.
no, if anything, I would like to see my mother again at some point, as of course you would, Nick.
Who? Oh, your mother. Yes, yes, definitely.
All right, well, I reckon we get some good night's sleep and head out in the morning, yeah?
Yeah, I'm all for it. Although, oh yeah, it's evening now, so yeah, it might be better to just sleep on it, memorize some spells.
The room that is assigned to Nicodemicus for his night is the size of his tower in Penrith.
Jeez.
He's sure of it, height and all. It's a big room. It's obviously the suite because there is attached private facilities.
So it's adequate.
It's
Where have they put us up?
more than adequate. You guys got fairly decent commoner rooms just above the servants' quarters.
Well, I congratulate them. Well, it's a lot better than the stables. I mean,
So anyway, the next morning, you guys wake up feeling fantastic. The weather is beautiful. The sun is shining. There's just a light mist that burns off as the sun rises. There's a cool breeze to balance out the sun. You have not seen such a beautiful day in ages.
Excellent. Jan, would you like to
Yes.
crack open the keg for some breakfast?
Oh my, you guys.
I'll join you for a second breakfast if you like.
I'm always down for a second breakfast.
Oh,
You'll see that the keg has already been tapped, but yeah, we'll pour out some stuff.
A prime day for killing.
A prime day for anything. As we go back out of the town, Chris, is there any sort of a public notice board or thing of that nature?
well, not near the castle.
No,
If
but
that's-
on the way out.
What sort of notices are you looking for?
I'm not looking for notices. I want to put up a notice.
Oh, well, it depends on what kind of a notice you're putting up. If you're looking for workers, there's one area. If you are, it depends on what sort of thing kind of notice you're going to put up.
I think it's high time that we found a dependable dwarven hireling who will stick with us.
You pretty much aren't going to be able to hire somebody on the way out of town.
Well, I was going to put up a notice and leave it because I'm assuming we're going to be coming back, was my idea.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Let me roll a die real quick
you're
here.
someone dependable.
You look around here and there as you're on your way out of town, but you have no luck in finding any place to post such a sign.
Okay, well, I'll keep an eye out for next time we come back. Well, when we come back, it's just in the back of my
Hey,
mind.
Jan, that makes me
Mhm.
wonder, are there any dwarven cities or boroughs or I don't know where dwarves live, but are there any dwarven?
I'm not sure where.
Well, you're not going to find any sizable places outside of the mountains. That's not to say you won't find a small dwarven community here or there. We have trade interests all over, and there's usually some sort of, you might say, outpost, keeping in contact with the larger cities. But that's about it.
But are there any close by? Maybe we can just stop by one and try to hire a dwarf. I mean, we need a henchman, I think, if only to take care of the cart while we're off doing stuff.
Jan's not familiar with Zanuck or the surrounding area, so even if there is such a location, he wouldn't know where it is. He's just literally got to this town last night, and you're already leaving. So,
yeah. The thing is, I'm from closer. I'm actually not even from where we're going to. I just happen to be closer to Vernon's home than any of you. I had traveled away from Olan to get to was it Draco? Was that his name?
Falco.
No, Falco. To
Falco,
Falco's
yes.
stronghold and met up. So
even if it's not a dwarf, Master Jan, I mean, we've met some nice humans along the way. If they're halflings or anything like
the thing is,
we don't want anything to do with halflings.
Exactly. I mean, halflings are kind of.
I'd soured my taste from my own time. I can't believe that I've never come across such a foul.
Yeah, basically the only good halfling.
We're gonna need to hire somebody. Yeah.
The only good halfling that I've ever seen is Vernon, to be honest. I mean.
Well, I appreciate that, but they're not all so bad.
You.
If you meet my family, you'll like them. In fact, my whole clan is good folk.
Actually,
you'll like them.
I can't blame him for running away. If you see someone the size of Armstrong falling down, I guess you don't want to mess up with the one that did the falling.
Exactly.
Well, so are we going to try to leave a thing for humans, or are we just going to take off?
No, we'll just go. I'll
Jan,
keep it in mind.
we're going. But Jan, if you do decide to put up a message, also put up a reward for Like's head.
Yes, put a bounty on him.
I say 2,000 gold pieces.
Well, 500 would be enough. He's small.
He's not worth 5.
You can tell who's counting the money in this party. It's not Nicodemicus.
Yeah, I'm carrying the bag of holding, so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay 5 for his bounty. He's not worth it.
So, you head down the road. Well, up the road. You are actually on your way upriver. You cross 3 small bridges because this is an area near the mouth of the river. There's lots of little streams that cross here. And the road straightens out and starts to tend more directly along the main river. Takes you a couple of hours to make it to this point. And you're getting pretty close to where that branch shows on the map. You encounter a number of common folk traveling here and there, and you encounter a patrol of the army that passes you by without comment. After all, you're not conducting any crimes at the moment. But
at the moment,
as you are approaching the area, I have to ask a question, Nicodemicus. What are you doing with the map? Do you have it packed in your backpack, stuck in the back of the wagon, or what?
Well, I don't really have a backpack, so I'm sitting on the carts and fiddling with it as I see them.
So you're consulting it regularly.
Yes. I'm trying to find anything weird or something that jogs my memory as we move along the trail.
As you approach the location shown on the map, you notice that the vegetation near the road is a little wilder looking than you remember, and the road has patches of grass growing up in it here and there. You notice that the air has become cooler and the sky is clouding over. It's an ominous situation, ominous weather, in fact. And as you come up over a hill, you note that there is, in fact, a branch off the road below you in the next little shallow valley along the way. Just before what would be your fourth small bridge, you see the road branches off to the right, leaving the road and heading more or less south.
And that's the kind of the road that was is also seen on the map.
Yes, Vernon, as you look around this area, it just does not feel normal. You are sure you did not come this way before. You are absolutely certain that this terrain is unfamiliar to you. It is wild. It is nothing like the territory that you passed through before that had a farm here and there along the way, and the road was well traveled, and the grass killed on the road because people walked over it so much. You're now on what looks more like a trail and less like the one of the good Anaronian roads that you've become accustomed to. This just doesn't look the same at all.
I
The rest
explained
of
that.
you are not sensitive to these factors because you are not, after all, trackers or experts in the outdoors, but you are all aware that this feels very different.
I hard from my cards. Everything.
And Nicodemicus
Yes.
is oblivious, of course.
Yes, guys, this is unusual, unnatural. Change in an environment is too sudden. Maybe some sort of druidic magic in this area or some sort of illusion.
As you approach the fork in the road, and Nicodemicus is moving the horses forward and turning towards it. Is everybody following along with him?
Well,
Yeah, I definitely am.
he's the one with the map.
I want to get out and just feel the ground. I want to get out and like smell the ground, feel the ground with my hand, make sure it feels right and smells right and everything.
Well, it does and it doesn't. It's not so strange as to make you think you've landed in a foreign country, but this is more like places that you used to visit around in Landon, places that had been abandoned for so long that the signs of humanity were almost erased.
So you're sniffing the grass?
Yeah. You're an archmage. I leave you to your archmage stuff, and I'm a scout, so that's what I do.
Okay. Well,
It smells off just like your underwear, but
No, not that bad.
What underwear?
true.
Oh God, the stuff you
Why are
guys
you
say.
smelling it? Why are you smelling his underwear anyway?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to intentionally. It's got the same range as his fireball. But anyway,
You guys are awful, man. Are you sure you're not all about 14 years old?
Not quite sure. Not quite sure. But what?
all I know is if we continue through here, we need to be on the edge of our seats here. Just
So
be
you are
ready.
expecting a gardening threat?
Nicodemic.
Okay.
Yeah, well, and Aldar, I mean, your father was a outstanding druid. Maybe if you might have learned a couple things off of him, maybe you can notice signs of druidic magic as we go.
Yeah, right, because my father spent time with me and took me places and showed me. He didn't even show me his cabin in the woods. I never learned how to
Right.
fish or talk with animals. I hate the spell. I hate that spell.
Just ask David because he can show you how to fish. He's got a stick for that.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I want to see if there are signs that we are on the same season. If I can tell if we are still, I don't know what season we were.
The season you're in was early fall, and this weather that you're experiencing now is not necessarily inconsistent with early fall.
But the trees are with leaves, without leaves. Are they with flower or?
The trees around you, the ones that you can see around you, are all short and scrubby. There are no substantial trees. Of course, you're below the brow of the hill at this point, but there are no substantial trees within your field of vision. They're all scrubby, and some of them seem to have lost their leaves already.
It seems.
Do I see a way up the hill that has more cover?
No, I'm afraid not.
Is there any cover?
The road ahead of you, as you turn off, you turn away from the scrubby trees towards open grassy fields.
Okay.
Armstrong, ride with me. It's just Armstrong and I take our horses on my pony and just go up crest the next hill out in front and just get a survey the area.
Promise not to smell my underwear.
You just smell like the blood of your foes.
Just on an off chance, Chris, does the sun look like it's in a different position?
No.
So it doesn't look any farther down or up.
You can't really see the sun directly since the sky is overcast, but it's where you
Oh.
think it should be. As best
okay.
as you who grew up without the sun would recognize it.
That's true.
You ride up over the hill, and you start down into another very shallow valley. There's not a stream at the bottom, but just a kind of a little bit of marshy area. It's obvious that it's not. You're fairly close to the top of the drainage area here. And as you begin to climb again, you're climbing what appears to be rather a large plateau. Not a plateau, it's a large hilltop. And you can see in the distance, in the far distance, standing up above trees off over there, what might be a tower.
Ah, look, Armstrong. Tower.
I stop from sharpening my great axe and look up.
Well, as you look out in the direction that Vernon points, you can see just topping up above the trees what looks like a tower made of gray stone.
Ah, surely that's it.
Well, the road you're on leads directly to it. It looks like the road you're on is curving, but the curve tends generally towards it.
What do you say, about a half mile or?
It's probably more than a mile.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll wait up here on the crest of this hill and keep an eye out. Do you want to ride back and collect the others?
Yeah, I'll go get him. I'll ride back.
All right, so I'll wait at the top of the hill just so I have a good visual all around us and wait for them to catch up.
On the one hand, it doesn't really take all that long to reach the location you're seeing, but on the other hand, everyone is so eager to close in on it and actually see this place that it seems like rather a long ride. One or the other must be the illusion. As you proceed up the slope of the large hill, it's weird. As you proceed up the crest of the large hill, or towards it rather, you approach a small stand of trees beyond which you know the tower must be. And of course, you lose sight of it as you close in on the trees. But then eventually you pass through the trees. You find yourself looking at the tower.
That's a fortress.
Yeah.
I see actually that I made an error in the snapshot was taken before I finished the railing around that overlook on the top. So there is a handrail up there. So, what's your
Looks like a tower. Looks like a fortress. Where's the tomb?
Oh, very funny.
It's down in the it's the basement.
And as you approach a little closer,
Oh, look, I have a garden.
Hold up here, guys.
I didn't bother to try to stack your people on top of their horses. I figured you guys could sort that out for yourselves.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna get off my horse and walk around behind the cart, so if there's anything watching us, they won't see when I put my ring on.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hide for a second, put my ring on, and say, guys, I'm gonna go take a look. I'm gonna do a circle around and see what I can see up there. Just keep your eyes peeled, and remember the whistle.
The whistle?
Yep.
Yeah, like one big whistle for, come, or one long whistle for emergency, two whistles for, blah, blah, blah. We have a whistle kind of communication.
except no one can remember what it is.
I didn't know we have a whistle. Okay.
We've done this before. I just can't remember what it was.
I can't whistle, but I got a bullhorn, so I think I understand.
So I'm gonna come around fairly close because I'm invisible and wearing an elven cloak. So I'm gonna look in every little arrow slit I can and every crenellation I can.
If you take a look at the picture of the tower, you can't see anything at ground level because ground level there are no windows.
Well, I'm
Just
looking on the crenellations at the top. Like, is there anything
Well, you
peeking
don't
out?
see anything peeking out at you. No.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha.
And then I get around to the back here. Are these fresh crops?
That is. You're actually passing through some fairly tall grass, but those crops, the garden area there is actually
Really?
maintained by somebody.
Really? Okay.
It looks fairly fresh. Incidentally, as you climb the hill, the sky cleared. It is again sunny and pretty, and there's a gentle, pleasant breeze.
Okay. Since the crops are relatively maintained, I'd imagine I should be able to see footprints in regular dirt. I inspect
The prints
the crops, and then
The prints you see are of human-sized boot prints.
okay. And what kind of crop are they growing?
Mostly vegetables. There
Really?
is there's no grain to speak of here. Just various garden vegetables, as one might expect to
Okay.
find. Vernon, I'm going to have to ask you to stop. Everybody needs to hold their positions because we have gotten to one of those times. And yes, and I'm afraid these two giant flies have the better of you right now, Vernon. You'll notice them off on the corner of the tower there, opposite. And I just rolled a 1 for surprise check, so
That's
how
fine.
fast are
Okay.
those little devils?
I guess we can't see them due to the high grass, I assume. But
Yeah, you guys probably have no idea.
Actually, they can see them. Just didn't expect them. So yeah, the giant flies have come for you. And I gotta roll a couple of attacks here. I'm gonna have to pay attention to your chat now that you guys are using it. Okay, well, let's see now. The 15, and what's your AC? Your AC is 18. Missed you by that much. So they did not hit you, and everyone can now roll for initiative. Starting with me, if I can find the button. There it is. Oh, 1.
this is our night.
All squares visible on the map are 5 foot. Incidentally, you also noticed as you went around the tower that there is no back door.
That was my next question.
Yep. Just FYI.
Okay. Okay.
I hear you.
I'm gonna.
Oh, while Vernon was doing that, I was going to say I was tying the horses off to the cart, so they're not going to run away.
Oh, actually, I forgot. You used the ring, so you were invisible. They knew you were there because you're moving through the tall grass. But actually, they didn't miss you by 1. They missed you by 5. The one of them did because of your -4 for hitting you because you're invisible. So
Whoops.
until you attack, you remain invisible. And that means your odds of getting hit are pretty low.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna move fairly fast. So 5, 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I'm gonna move to here and continue my search. I don't want to go uninvisible yet. I'd rather, just in case there's something watching me, I'm not really worried about these flies too much.
Anybody else who wants to take a move action can go ahead and do it.
I'll climb off my cart.
Yes, I move a bit.
Do we know that Vernon's in trouble?
No, I haven't whistled yet. I'm not worried about him yet.
Well, you saw giant flies. I mean, those suckers are over a foot long.
Hmm.
And you guys saw them swooping around the building in the direction that he went. And you know which way he went because you see him moving through tall grass.
Okay, in that case.
I'm moving.
So, but probably at this point, we don't know that he's continuing on around the building.
No, you don't know. That's true.
So, I think I am going to move closer to the building. So let's see here. Just because being closer in case there is a problem is going to be better than being far away. So 5, 10.
So Chris, on my movement there, I was inspecting I still don't see any sign of life or anything of note, any like potential.
From the tower, no. You really don't.
And all the walls are intact. There's no like broken down parts or anything.
No, you can see the glisten and shine of actual glass in the windows.
Okay.
And all of them appear to be intact.
Okay.
Although you think that some of the ones higher up on the side you're on right now might be open.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking for obviously life, but then also potential in and out points that might be available. Tricky in and out points, but
Now, you left the cart. Is the majority of your stuff still on the cart?
Yeah.
well, I have a bag of holding and Jan has a bag of holding, so that's like most of our valuables. The only other stuff is basic stuff.
Okay. Nicodemicus, what did you do with the map?
I have it with me in the scroll tube.
So you're carrying it in your hand since you don't have a backpack.
I almost think I should be carrying the map.
It's my most prized possession now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just wanted to know where it was. Okay. So
All right, so
that is your action. So now they get to
yeah, I didn't double move, so I'm trying to not reveal my position as much as possible.
well, let me roll some dice real quick. No, they can still see you moving through the grass. They're flies. They got compound eyes. But they need a really good roll to hit you.
Well, there they go.
They got dude.
No, they didn't hit you.
I mean, it's probably have a -4 plus.
As long as you stay invisible, they need a 20 to hit you.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it.
As soon as they can see you, their odds get quite a bit better.
Yep.
So, yep, they did not hit you.
All right.
So since they have acted,
Imagine being invisible, but also being so smelly that the giant flies trying to attack you have no trouble finding you.
Well, I actually washed all my armor last night before dinner, so I'm actually not smelling too bad.
Maybe you washed off the protective coating.
oh. Aldar and Vernon have 6, and everybody else is slower than the flies.
1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
Parting shots. Still didn't get 20s, so you're
Yep.
safe. But
Okay, so at this point, I know my guys can. I saw Aldar out of the corner of my eye, so I know I have backup if needed. I'm just going to wing a shot at one of these things.
okay, go for it. Find my pencil here.
Looks like our luck is back.
Wow. Okay. All
And
right.
then-
So, yeah.
Invisibility's off. Elven cloak hood is up.
Can I see Vernon appear?
Yeah, you can see. Well, you can see the top of his head. It's tall grass and he's a short halfling. So.
But can I see what he's doing? If there's anything that signals peril.
I'd give a little, not an urgent whistle, but just kind of a, over here, guys.
Okay, so I start running. I double move now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5.
I don't think you have a ninja thing going on anymore. You might want to take that marker off.
I don't have my elven cloak on.
Oh, you're using the elven cloak. Okay. You have too many ways of becoming hidden.
I'm a scout, man. That's my job.
You are the most hidden halfling ever. Okay.
I can move 12 over here. That would be
Yeah.
in diagonal. That would be.
If you want to use the range rulers and just move using them, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
The
You
thing
don't have
is,
to count your
the range is not very accurate because you count it doesn't count the diagonals very well. Just
Actually, it counts the diagonals perfectly
it
fine.
does?
I think.
Because 5, 10, this should be 15, right? As we count it, this should be 15.
Well, yeah. Let me check on that. I haven't actually tried it. Let me try. No, you're right. It does not count the diagonals properly. No, so you guess you can't use range rulers for that.
Yeah, but I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Huh.
7,
I wonder why
8,
this doesn't
9,
work.
10, 11, 12. So I move over here. I think this was it. Around that one.
All right. So after Aldar is.
Oh, hey, check this out.
Did you make a setting change or something?
I changed the setting, yeah, and now
Okay.
it is counting. It is counting the way I count.
Excellent.
That's Pathfinder mode.
Okay, good.
I did not know that. I've learned something today. So here we go. You guys can go ahead and do your movement, and then we'll go from there. And I guess you guys run 3, so the flies do get to move.
Can we see the door from better from this angle?
Yeah, you can see the doors. Are you wanting a description of the
Well,
doors
just-
right now? While the monsters
Yes.
are on Vernon?
Let's focus on the most
Well,
important
even
stuff first.
I'm not always sure if what you think the most important stuff
It's
is.
Vernon. It's Vernon.
Okay, all right. So we got that figured out. That was their action, so you guys on 3 can finish your movement for the round, and we'll roll again.
Okay. Yeah, I just did a double move, so.
I'm gonna.
If you guys are double moving, I will too.
Okay. So I'll roll initiative for the next round. Got a 2 this time. Surely you guys can beat that.
Well, I don't know.
I guess not.
I got a 6 the other.
Oh.
Yeah. I got a 6 the other round. That's the best initiative roll I had in sessions. So back to normal.
15, 20, 25, 30.
Back to normal, huh?
All right, so that's
You just gave him a parting shot again, so.
fine.
Okay.
So 40, and I shoot at the same one I did last time.
See, I gotta roll a percentage for that. Yeah, no, that worked. Okay. That looks like a hit.
Short range as well. So that's the same one as last time.
Okay, it ain't dead yet.
Holy crap.
Told you, they're big flies. Uh-huh.
I think we need Nicodemicus.
I holler over to them, 2 flies! I'm shooting the one on the left!
That's how you holler.
And Jan yells, "What?"
Because they still can't see him, so.
The rest of you guys can go ahead and take your movement for the round because, well, except for Aldar, who's slow, and Nicodemicus, who's tied.
Yes. Well, I'm contemplating what Jan
So Jan and Armstrong, go ahead and move.
15,
Oh no,
20.
I rolled 2.
25, 30, 35, 40.
So you're doing a double also.
Yes.
Armstrong?
Yeah, I'm going to do a double as well in that direction.
Okay. Hey, he can do that. Okay, so this is the one against Vernon. I've already checked to see how invisible you are, and you're still pretty invisible, so that's not going to hit you. And this one is against Jan, who has a pretty good armor class. Okay, so they missed. And Jan double moves, so he doesn't have an attack this round. Aldar and Nicodemicus can make their moves now.
Yeah, I double move to Vernon, so it's 60 over there, and I end up.
Okay. You're in magical metal armor?
I am magical metal, yeah. I move 30.
Okay. Yeah, 60 is a double for you. And you don't have any attack this round, but
No.
you're right there to
Yeah.
fight now. Nicodemicus, what you gonna do,
Jan
man?
whispered something about Nicodemicus to me, so I whip out my wand of polymorph otter, and I yell at Jan, I can turn you into a frog, but I'm not too sure how many charges I still have left. So changing back will be difficult. Let me know.
Vernon yells over. I wouldn't waste I wouldn't waste the charge. These I think we have a handle on these.
Yeah, don't bother.
That is your actions for the round. You guys are finally going to get to swing. If you can do it before 3.
Ooh, 1. Unexpected.
All right, you really are back to normal, aren't you? Jan's got a 1. Aldar's got a 1. Bad round to be a cleric. Vernon and Nicodemicus, you are first.
Yeah, I look around me and I think to myself, sometimes it's difficult to being archmage of my potential, and the only enemies I get to fight is giant flies, and my companions can't even manage that. So I move closer and I throw my dagger, which is a blast from the past.
Okay. Yeah, that would be a +0 range for you.
No, there goes my dagger. Only had the one.
Well,
So it goes.
Oh, do I need to roll if I hit Jan? That would be fun. I mean,
I was figuring.
Sure. Actually, you actually should, because you threw past him. So yeah.
I knew it. I knew it. Luckily, dwarven hide is very thick. Yeah.
of course.
We'll roll some damage.
However, my strength bonus will make this. Oh no, is it a strength bonus for throwing a dagger? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, you actually do apply your strength adjustment to a thrown weapon.
Then you only have 1 damage because my strength adjustment is -2.
Uh huh.
So he hits you with a pommel.
Yeah, yeah. I yell out, "Oops!"
Okay.
Yeah, be careful with my dagger, please.
No problem. Ugh.
Oh my God! Seriously, the stuff you said.
So then I'll go 5, 10, 20, 25, turn, and I'm going to shoot this thing in the back.
+1 to hit.
And yeah, +1 from short range as well. Oh, geez. So +3 on that.
Yeah. Okay, so +3 on that is a 13.
Yeah.
You missed it by that much. Take a shot at Aldar, please.
I'm shooting up in the sky, aren't I?
The fly is flying at fighting the halfling level. You can't be shooting that high.
Wow.
Well, you were.
I was right.
It is not a good round to be a cleric. You were right.
Yeah, I literally went all the way around, so I was aiming away from Aldar, but
When they find our corpses, they'll see all sorts of our own weapons sticking out of our bodies. And two flies crawling all over them.
When they find your corpses, I like that optimism. They will find your bodies.
Yeah.
They had some sort of disagreement.
Okay. Was that? Yeah, I was gonna say, was that everybody who was faster than the monsters? Because that would make it the monsters' turn. And this one is like, oh look, here's a cleric right next to me, and there's that invisible halfling over there being a pain. I'm not going to mess with the invisible halfling. I want to attack. Really not a good round to be a cleric because those are the ones being attacked.
yeah, you guys need to just get away and let me shoot these things.
Look at that. Would you look at that? I hit. Aldar, you get.
Get off me!
Oh my god, those things do a lot of damage.
Ooh.
And Jan. Missed you.
Ouch.
Slow guys and so forth. Whoever's next.
I got a 4.
Well, I think I got a 1, so.
Oh, well, you should have gone ahead and gone, Armstrong. Sorry.
Oh, that's no problem.
Tell you what, if you can kill that one in one hit, Jan can have his. Well, Jan didn't get hit, though. Aldar guy. Darn. Well, never mind.
What do you mean, if I can? Watch this. I swing into the side of its abdomen with my great axe.
That's your total. It's not good enough.
Man.
Okay, and who was on one?
Last.
So the two clerics get to roll their attacks now.
Yeah.
Me, and I think Aldar, but.
Where is Bite Strong?
Oh, that's
So.
I missed the dog, didn't I? Let me go find him.
Yes.
And I'll give him
So,
back the map. Where was he at on the road map?
Yeah, I didn't see him, so I thought that was intentional. So I didn't
No,
ask.
it was not. Actually, was not intentional. Oh, there he is. Well, I copied you guys off the last map you were on to get you onto this one, and I did not see that he was covered up by the X of one of the monsters you killed. So here you go. That's not what I want. Okay, seriously.
I was like, what?
Seriously.
Mhm.
I'm having a hard time finding that dog. Okay.
Okay. Well, Jan.
Now.
Wind up with my mace and.
Yeah, but you can go ahead and roll Bite Strong's attack if you want
Got
to.
him?
Ah, cool. 1d20 + 2.
Yeah, might as well do that first.
2. Going in for the bite.
Not quite good enough.
Okay. Well, Jan pulls out his mace and yells, "From the book of Harold the Filthy, you feel lucky, punk?"
I think you're beginning to reach a little bit there.
That's what happens when I make them up on the spur of the moment.
Hey, I missed my fly. Can I see if I hit Vernon instead?
No.
You're hitting it with your mace, right? Hey, you got a 1 for the monster's initiative. You can't roll lower than that.
Well, that's true.
I'm assuming Armstrong's not using his boots on a fly.
No.
Aldar's got initiative.
I rolled equal to it.
I thought about it.
Nicodemicus doesn't actually need to
Look at
roll
that.
because he's holding, so. If Nicodemicus wants to do something, he can. Armstrong and Vernon are best, and so is Aldar, actually, but Armstrong first.
And
Say that one more time.
Armstrong and Vernon should go first, and you can roll for Bite Strong also at this point.
Okay.
can Aldar go before me? Can
wait.
Can we jiggle up
You
our?
can wait until Aldar goes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna tell Aldar to retreat a bit so I can shoot this thing in the back and not worry about hitting you. So I'm gonna move over here, so I'm definitely shooting from behind and tell Aldar to back up, and then as soon as Aldar backs up, I'm going to shoot.
Assuming that Aldar decides to back up, we'll see what happens.
If he
So
listens to it.
Armstrong did not hit, but the dog did. Is that right? Dog did hit. So 3 points to that fly, which has been shot twice by Vernon. Deads it. Okay. Anybody else? Aldar, are you going to move as Vernon has instructed, or are you going to fight?
No, I'm gonna move. Just please don't shoot, don't shoot. I'll make a half move to in diagonal.
Yep, that's fine.
All right, here, 15 feet.
Well, that's good because Vernon, even with a +2, missed again. So, we got a plus 1 for Ray.
+3.
You just hit.
14.
You just hit. Nice. Didn't kill it, but nice.
Boom.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, it's on 1, and so is Jan. Jan, what are you gonna?
Well, he's over there again. I can move through Armstrong Square, right?
You may. He rolled a 1, so no problem with that. Yeah, you can move through Armstrong.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, and I'll take a swing at that fly. I'll just try to smack it without.
Dang,
Ooh.
that'll hit.
Wham!
Okay, so fly parts go everywhere.
There we
A most impressive fight.
go.
Good hit.
That was a juicy one.
That was a juicy one, yes.
Aldar, are you alright? I'm so sorry.
Just get it off me.
How could you, Vernon? How could you?
I pull my arrow out of him.
Oh yes, did you?
Nicodemicus, catch!
Oh, thank you.
I toss him my dagger, or his dagger.
It's actually a magical dagger, so thank you for retrieving it for me. Yes, dwarves.
So it automatically hits.
Okay.
So, Aldar, are you okay, or do you need healing? I mean, that arrow looks kind of nasty.
Yes, I think I'll treat it now before entering your giant bug laboratory tower.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I got him good. I dropped my arm when I shot.
That's just fantastic.
So I'm still eyeballing this tower, just making sure nothing's looking at us.
Well, you don't see any signs of anything looking at you.
So I tell the guys, I made a circle around the whole thing. All the walls are standing.
Yes.
The windows still have glass in them. At the very top, there's windows that might be open. On the far side, there's 2 crop areas that are being tended fairly regularly. They're tended with human-sized footprints, boot prints, and they're growing vegetables. So take that as you will. I've done my job.
And how did the tower look from the back?
It looks intact. There's no other entrances that I saw.
Yeah.
Main entrances, anyway. But there's no walls taken down or anything. Windows are still together.
Yes.
Nothing broken that I saw.
Okay.
Well, it's obvious if they're consuming vegetables that this tower is steeped in evil.
Yes. How would you rate my tower, Vernon, on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, I don't see too many towers where I'm from, so I'd say give it an 8.
It's much nicer than the other one.
Yeah, that's true.
What was the crops? Was it barley? Because if it's barley, it's okay, right, John?
Well, barley's a different matter.
Let me ask you this, Nicodemicus. What is your favorite vegetables?
My favorite vegetable, meat. I don't know. Yeah.
Are you a vegetable eater?
Well, I do like what's the potato dish that your mother makes for me, Aldar? Oh yeah, scalloped potatoes, mashed potatoes. Yes.
Mashed potatoes?
Carrots, maybe.
Carrots, yes, that could be. I usually don't bother myself with cooking. I have you to do the cooking for me, or Aldar's mother usually did the cooking for me. She was so nice bringing me food at my tower in Penwick.
Yeah, weird that you like her food.
All right.
I would say this, Nicodemicus. Seeing this tower, I don't really think you can call your place in Penwick a tower.
Yeah, I agree.
Aldar, let me check footprints before you step. I want to get down and look closely at the front entrance for footprints, and I'm getting down on my knees, looking at footprints, looking for any.
You can see signs of heavy traffic right here at the door. There's a trail kind of going around the tower to your right, right up against the tower. Footprints matching those of whoever is tending the garden in the back.
Vernon, don't touch the doors. Be careful. I have been known to inscribe things with a symbol of death.
The double doors of the tower are made of dark wood carved with a pattern of flowers and brass rivet heads in what appears to be a Nicendrian style, meaning that these were imported, most likely. The doors look like they open outwards towards you, but there are no knobs or handles with which to open them. The right-hand door does have a large golden knocker in the shape of a dragon's head.
Oh, it's a dragon's head, Aldar. I think you should use the knocker.
Isn't this your tower?
Yes, it's my tower, but I stand behind Jen. I think you should be the one to use the knocker, seeing as you're my adopted son and all.
Fine. You got me at. So
You're going to knock on the door?
I'm going to knock on the door. Which one is it? The left or the right one?
Right-hand door.
Okay, so I just.
Wow, I like the echo of that. Very nice.
Nice Foley work.
Yes, I started my prayers with that.
Okay, let's see. Okay, for a moment, nothing happens. Then Aldar becomes aware that hearing footsteps from within the tower.
Okay, so I just back up a little.
And they are approaching the door.
Okay.
And finally, after about a minute perhaps, if I can get the revealer to work, the doors open wide,
Mink.
and a man is revealed.
Hmm.
Not pointing an arrow at you, that's just the figure I picked out.
I was going to say, no, I move aside so Nicodemicus is exposed.
He looks out at you in some confusion, and then he sees Nicodemicus crouching down behind Jan, trying to hide behind a guy who's just too short to hide behind. And he says, "Master, you've returned."
Yes. Hello, servants.
Get on there, Nicodemicus.
Whose name is well known to my mouth, but escapes my memory at the moment. Hello.
It's Audrin, sir, Audrin Cabral.
Ah, yes, Audrin. Hello.
Your faithful servant all this time.
Yes, thank you for being so faithful.
As you step closer to him, you notice a little sweat on his brow. But then again, he ran down to get here, so.
Are you okay there?
There you go. And he said, "So you've been gone for so long, sir." He said, "I've missed you." He said, "I've done the best I can to maintain your tower for you, but it's been difficult alone."
So you've been here all alone all that time?
He says, "Yes, I have." He says, "It's been years."
I look at him. Does he look like a normal human being, or?
Well, it looks like he's probably in his late 30s or early 40s. He is dressed in, let me see here. Let me find the description. Dressed in somewhat worn clothing. rather threadbare, in fact. It looks as if the shirt he's wearing might have once been one of your robes. The pants definitely weren't yours. He's little bit taller, a little bit more solid individual, not muscular by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, he's a bit rangy, but he's too tall and too big boned to comfortably wear your clothing. Nonetheless, he has made a shirt out of one of your robes. But if he's been here for a long time without access to any outside help, he probably is running short of clothing at this point.
Yes. What was his name again? Could you put it in the chat?
I will do so. Audrin Cabral.
Well, I am a little bit disappointed at you, Audrin. I mean, you look like you could use a change in clothing. I mean, I do have to keep up appearances being an archmage and all.
He says, sir, you wound me. I did the best I could with what you left me, but it's been a long time.
How long has it been, Audrin?
More than 10 years.
More than 10 years. Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm actually not certain. I've kind of lost track of time over the years.
Yes, Mage Towers will do that. So, Audrin, I want to introduce you to my henchmen. I mean, my friends. This is Armstrong, the Strong, and his dog Bite Strong.
And he nods to it.
I've not done.
How you doing? Are you gonna let us in?
Well, of course. Whatever the master wants, he says. Welcome.
I'm shouldering in.
Yes. Please be the first. Be the first to enter my own tower in 10 years, Armstrong. Go ahead. Sure.
Aren't you going to go in, Nicodemicus?
Hey, we forgot someone.
Cabral goes in. I'm sorry.
Well, didn't we bring? I forgot his name, but did we bring someone else also? Where's the little one?
And the dog. Armstrong. Dog.
And the dog? No. Yeah, I meant the dog. So, Bite Strong, come.
Yeah, I mean, like, is it cool if he comes in the castle?
I'm sure Oberyn won't mind.
I mean, he's not necessarily potty trained.
I'm sure he won't go anywhere Nicodemicus already has.
Chris, I'm gonna look up before I go in. I just kind of went back and forth, just looking up in the tower, looking in the windows to see if I see anyone looking down or anything.
You don't see anybody.
Okay.
The area of the entryway, the 10 by 15 entryway that you guys are standing in right now, has pale gray stone walls, white plaster ceiling, and dark gray tiles on the floor. It appears that the next room is the same way. The next room over is somewhat disorderly and dirty, with dried out muddy footprints here and there near the door, and furnishings pushed back against the wall. You see a wooden rake, old and crudely repaired, and a metal-headed hoe which has been sharpened a few too many times, standing together in an old wooden bucket just beside where Cabral is standing right now. Looks like he keeps his gardening gear here. See a few chairs and a desk pushed up against the right-hand wall on the other side of it. Just pushed back against it. And let me see. Is there anything else you see here? Oh, and one of the chairs, the one basically right next to where Cabral is standing, has threadbare upholstery, and it's rather dirty, and there is a pair of dirt-covered boots standing next to it. And then you notice that Cabral is in fact running around barefoot at this point. And that's it. That's the room.
Would you step in, Nicodemicus?
Yeah, it's so dirty. I mean, I don't want to dirty my clothes, but
Honestly, I'm surprised, Nicodemicus. This does not seem to be your. Well, I would have expected a lot more decoration.
Well, I closed the.
I'm sorry. Did you went into the tower at Penrith? It was shambles. You had a hole in the.
Audrin says, he says, not long after you disappeared, sir, a whole group of people arrived. I don't know who they were, but They looted the castle. I was forced to hide in the trees to avoid their attentions. They didn't, I'm sure, take everything, but they definitely went through the tower. They were only here at most a day. And he said, since then, I've made do with what was left. He says, I have maintained the garden so as to have food, and he says, I hunt in the ground. I've done what I can with what you left me.
Yes, but why didn't you defend the tower?
Because I am but one man and not a warrior. You took your bodyguards with you.
So remind me exactly why you are my faithful servant then? What exactly do you do for me?
He says, I was your valet, sir.
Oh, you're my valet. Okay.
And valet, butler, general attendant. He says, I know how you take your tea.
Oh, I like tea.
You
I
can't
didn't know that.
Yeah.
And where you keep your things, which outfits look best on you. And he said, when the full staff was here, he said, I was in charge of the staff. But he said, I was the only one left after you took the bodyguards with you. He said, I was it. And he said, as I said, sorry, I did the best I could with what you left me.
Hmm.
Yeah, Nicodemicus, you can't expect a valet to defend the castle at all costs, for heaven's sake.
He says, I regret it.
I look at Odrin and I nod to him, and then I close this door and I turn to Jen and I say, I know, but I'm not sure we can trust him. I mean, it all sounds a little bit suspicious. How would you, and why would you survive in a tower for 10 years and then, it's. I mean, the city is nearby. Why didn't he just go to the city and buy supplies? Why spend 10 years locked into a tower? That's weird.
Well, more concerning is there's no way he would have been able to hold it because there'd be plenty of suitors that would want to take over this tower, and they'd be back. And there's a reason he's still here.
Are you really crowding him that closely, Armstrong?
Yeah, and I'm saying you're lying.
He says, "Why would I lie, sir?" He says, my master has been gone. He says, I haven't been able to leave here. Only the master knew the arcane geometry of the road.
Oh.
Oh.
Halfling, he says, what was your name? Vernon? Turn and look behind you at the road you followed to get here. It's gone. There's no road.
Uh-oh.
You followed a clear trail, but the trail is gone. He says, he says, sir, without a map, he says, no other mortal could find their way here. You were the only man alive who could come to the tower without a map.
Oh, so you didn't stay here. I kind of locked you in here in this kind of pocket plane. I don't know.
He says, I don't know how those other people came. He says, I suppose you must have made more than one map. But I don't know. He says, I couldn't leave.
I see. Well, the plot thickens then. It also kind of raises the question as to who these people that raided my tower were. Obviously, wizards of.
Maybe one of the
Yeah.
yeah. I was gonna say maybe one of your friends turned out to not be one of your friends.
So I don't know, Jem. Would that make him my enemy? I think so.
Frenemy.
However, a frenemy. But I'm fairly certain they would have been powerful wizards to have unlocked my arcane geometry to even get to this place. So that is worrying.
Well, what I mean is, maybe you left a map with somebody other than the Count.
Hey, Oberon, you've been around me for quite some time. Refresh me. Do I have any enemies?
He says, well, sir, he says, I assume you must. Who else would come here and attack your tower? But he said, you never spoke to me of anyone that you considered.
Yeah. I think he's telling the truth because I hardly speak to servants anyway.
Odrin, don't take this personally. This is standard practice with us, but we'd like to make sure you're not hiding anything suspicious that might bite us in the butt, if you will. Armstrong? And I nod over to him.
So take off your clothes. It'll only take a minute.
Are we frisking him? Is that the plan here? Armstrong doesn't seem to be listening.
That's what I'm hinting at Armstrong. Whether he listens or not is up to him. But
You don't trust him, Armstrong?
Well, I don't know.
he does. You don't have to.
I mean, no, not really. I'm not saying this to you guys, but I'm not believing this guy.
Well, that's why I want to check it.
Oh, for heaven's sake, you humans always pussyfoot around everything. I'll frisk him.
There we go.
Hold still, and this won't hurt much.
You find a dagger on him.
I don't hurt him.
That's not surprising. Most people carry daggers for one reason or another. He has a ring of keys in his pocket.
Those sounded interesting.
I'll let him keep those. Well, I mean, I would go, oh, keys. Well, he's the valet. Jeez.
He said, "Of course, I have the keys to the tower." He said, "It's my job."
Well, it's a good thing this is Nicodemicus's tower. So.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the thing, Vernon. It's just a practical thing. Who among us is going to know which key goes to which door without trying all the keys?
He says, honestly, he said, very few of the doors in the castle are locked at this point. He says, the monsters outside, the monsters on the ground, don't seem to come inside.
You mean the flies?
He says, so this is, yes, there are flies. He says, there are boars. He says, I hunt them. He says, unfortunately, the salt ran out some time ago, so I can no longer put up salt pork. But I still have fresh meat. He said there are shadows in the trees that come out sometimes at night, very rarely during the day, but sometimes at night the shadows come out. I don't go out at night. There are other things I know moving around outside that I've always managed to avoid.
Well,
tell me, are there any undead in the tower or around the tower?
He said, not as far as I know. He said, unless you left something in the dungeon, I don't go in. He said, you always told me it wasn't safe to go down there, so I don't go down there.
Okay, so no undead. So that
he says, I'll admit, sir, and he said, it's my shame to admit this to you, but I'll admit that I did consider going down to raid your wine cellar. But he said, honestly, I'm not even sure any of these keys would fit the lock anyway. He says, I have not. He said, I was tempted, but I did not give invitation.
Well, good man.
He said, I'm really not sure what you left in the dungeon, so I have been afraid to go down.
Well, I'm glad to hear no undead. That I've had this worry for quite some time that I'm actually a necromancer, but that's a relief.
Well, much as I've become fascinated taking in the architecture of the entry hall, we have come all this way.
Well, I admit I'm a bit nervous to actually go down there or up there or in there because I don't know. I'm a bit nervous. I'm even shaking a little bit. Look at my hands.
Shall we peruse the upper levels?
Audrin says, sir, if you'll permit me, he says, I will lead you. He says, I am confident the tower is safe.
Oh, well.
Yeah, we might as well get our bearings about us, Nicodemicus. Familiarize ourselves with the upper tower.
Oh, well. Give us a tour.
He goes and opens the doors and leads you into the back room here.
I'm staying as close as possible to this guy, and I have my hand on my axe underneath my cloak.
Now, Audrin opens the door and stands aside to let you guys pass through. But if you prefer him to leave, he will. And goes up here. Now, this room has a cot, obviously long unused, in the far right corner. which is actually over here. There's a cot. And there's a standing desk against the nearer wall over here, right about where Armstrong is standing. There's an old used quill and an ink pot standing next to an open book on the standing desk. Do you stop to look at it, Nicodemicus, or blunder through to the door?
Yeah, no, I can take a look at the book.
The book has a long list of signatures and dates on the visible pages. There's a thin layer of dust over everything. Standing in the corner, right behind where it is standing here, you see a stand of the kind normally used to display a suit of armor, but there's nothing on it. And beside it, there is a tall urn protruding from which are several sword hilts.
Oh. Well, I wiped the dust of the book. Is there much dust? Is it a thick layer?
It's a fine layer of dust. It looks like it's been disturbed once or twice along the way. Perhaps he dusted it better early on and then gave up after it became obvious you weren't back.
Yeah. So I look at Odrin and I say to him, "Well, Odrin, could we put cleaning back on the list of priorities? I mean, now that I've returned, there's no sense in letting things go."
He says, "Of course, sir." He says, "I'd be so happy to once again serve you."
Thank you.
I want to look closely at his brow again. Is he still sweating like he was before?
No, he is no longer looking sweaty. Apparently, it was just running down the stairs.
Look, I've prepared a jar. Of swords for visitors. So if anyone wants to have a sword, go grab a sword. I don't mind.
Jar of swords.
What's on the? I kind of want to take a look at the book too. Does it look like a guest book?
Kind of looks like a guest book, yes. Jan, you're not very familiar with the calendar humans use, so the dates don't really mean anything to you. Nicodemicus or Aldar would be more that kind of stuff. Armstrong doesn't really pay attention. He knows dates, but he doesn't really read them.
Is the ink long dried up?
The ink pot is quite dry, yes.
What are you looking at, John?
Oh, well, I'll take out my little pot of ink that I have and sign Jan Fellhammer in the next available slot. What's the current year?
I see. The dates. The last date on the date book is more than 10 years ago.
Huh.
Oh, of course. I don't know why I'm looking this up. It's the year 999. And the most recent date written in that book before Jan started writing in it was in 986. So, what are we doing now?
What's behind this door?
Why, the staircase, of course.
This would be the area that's the cylinder tower there, Nicodemicus.
Oh, yes, I knew that.
Well, it's easy to get turned around.
Why would I keep swords in my mage tower? I look at one of the swords in the jar.
Okay, so in the jar, you just pull one of them out at random.
Yeah.
For your guards, of course.
You draw out a long sword. It has a shining silvery blade with no sign of any corrosion or tarnish on it, and an elaborately woven green and black dyed leather grip. It's quite a pretty weapon. Also looks wickedly sharp.
It's an impressive blade.
Take a look at that, Armstrong.
Do you want it, Armstrong?
Yeah, it is pretty nice. I mean,
There's two others in the jar.
I'll see. I'll take them all out.
I mean,
Do you have any of the shorter variety?
The second weapon you draw from the urn is a long sword with a blade of blackened steel and worn leather wrapping on the hilt. The edges of the weapon are shine from being sharpened, but the sides of the blades have been blackened, which is a technique to prevent them from rusting. Not one that you see very often, in fact. Armstrong is familiar with very many people in trouble. The last weapon that comes out is not a longsword, but a scimitar.
Oh.
It's heavy and a bit roughly made, but appears sharp. Jan, looking at the scimitar, is puzzled by it. He can't identify who made it. It's crude and yet well made at the same time. The techniques used are a strange combination of expert metallurgy and clumsy forging, but nonetheless, it looks like it's probably quite sharp, and the heavy blade would still hack through the enemy quite well.
If nothing else, that scimitar is going to be a curiosity piece.
I kind of assume all these weapons are intelligent weapons, so be careful, but you're more than welcome to take whatever you want.
I think we should take them all.
Well, cursed, probably.
I'm not so sure these were Nicodemicus's, because if the tower was raided, why weren't they taken?
Or maybe it was because Nicodemicus pulled them out.
Oh yeah, that could also be, yeah.
Yeah, do we want to try that again? See if someone else can pull them out.
Okay, I put them back in the jar.
Okay.
Yeah, I volunteer.
Okay. You experienced no difficulty in removing them.
Ah, well, there's that.
Well, it was just a thought.
Yeah, but technically I already bestowed them on you, so the magic might have kind of leaked, so, yeah.
Vernon, the staircase here spirals up to the left and down to the right. The steps are 2-inch thick plates of white marble sticking out of the curving outer wall and attached to a foot-thick metal column in the center of the stairwell. The spaces between the steps are empty. In other words, these steps are not a continuous structure, but a bunch of separate plates attached to that central pole and the outer wall.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Be careful, guys. Alright, so I'm gonna take the end of my bow, and before I step on each stair, I wanna push down on it.
Oh, Cabral says, excuse me, let me step through here, please. He steps on a step and he says, it works like this. And he faces forward and he says the word, Katha, and the plates of the stairs begin to turn, carrying him away up out of sight.
I am brilliant.
Yeah, I was gonna...
That is pretty impressive, Nicodemicus.
I'm going to ask everybody to hold your positions exactly where they are as we change maps.
I call it an escalator.
Yeah, I wanted to grab him before he did anything. There's no way I would let him do that. Alright.
An escalator, yep. I like that careful use of words there. All right. So anyway, this is what you're looking at now. We are that will include all the levels, so we don't switch map to map to get to different levels.
Okay.
So, where are we at, guys? What are we doing?
He went up?
Yeah.
He went up.
And we should go up, right?
You can step on while the steps are moving, but they only move long enough to carry him up one level, and then they stop.
Yeah, I don't know what.
What did he say? Katha?
Katha, yeah.
You say, are you standing on a step when you say that?
I'll do what he did. I'll ready my hatchet and do what he did.
Yeah, it works. There you are. I see you've already found it. So, you go up a level? Yes, hang on a minute whilst I find him.
Is he standing here?
He is just opening the door, actually, into the next space over as you come up.
Hey, you listen here. Don't go out of eyesight again. Stay with us.
Oh, I'm sorry. He said I didn't know this would be a problem.
Don't take it personally, but we've been through a lot of stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll gain our trust, but for now, tread lightly, or else we're gonna be suspicious.
Tell you what, that like really messed you guys up,
Yeah.
didn't he? He doesn't say that. I said that because he doesn't know like, but I know like.
Yeah, it's probably like sitting on the throne.
We know like either.
Like sitting on a throne.
So yeah.
Okay, so.
So I speak the word and go up.
Well, you can all ride the stairs up at once if you just all get on when somebody says the word, and it carries you up one level.
Yeah.
And lets you out.
Let's go.
The room in which you find yourself
Blink.
after you get off the steps. This is a large room that occupies the entire level. The floor is bare, although you can see marks where a large rug once lay diagonally on the floor, leading from the stairway to a dais with a comfortable-looking throne in the opposite. Beside the throne to the right of whomever might sit there stands a tall, narrow cabinet, largely made of glass.
Okay, this looks more like you, Nicodemicus.
Well, Nicodemicus?
Yes. So this is a cabinet, not a throne?
There's a cabinet beside the throne.
Oh, okay.
It is, as soon as I get the right tool selected, the cabinet is actually right here. I just don't have.
I walk up to the...
It is about a foot square on the bottom. It's a very narrow, a foot and a half. It's a very narrow but tall cabinet, mostly made of glass and metal with a wooden base, a wooden back, and a wooden top. Metal frame holds glass on both sides and in the front. Inside the cabinet is absolutely nothing except a tubular stand of a sort sticking up from the center of the bottom. Looking at it, you can't help but think it looks like a display case for a mage staff.
Well, first I sit down in my on my throne, on my chair, my seat.
Okay, Jan, you're looking at a glass window in front of you, the battlements. The first tier of battlements, I should say. The window is actually made like a door. It's glass with a metal frame. It has a plain, obvious handle that you turn and pull to open the glass, and you can step through.
Oh, so that's the edge of the building then?
Yep. And yeah, you can look through the battlements and down to the ground level, about 20 feet down there.
Oh, nice.
I see.
Wow, Lord Mage Nicodemicus, this is quite impressive.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Finally, I am in the place where I should be.
And it suits you.
You can't stand there, Jan.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I know. It's moving me.
You're falling off.
Ah, he fell!
No, Jan!
Oh
my god!
You might have to grab it.
You're back on the battlements.
3d6 falling damage.
Like I clicked on myself, and then the screen moved the opposite way of where I tried to go.
If you use the right mouse button, it'll drag the map.
You better watch your footing.
Was sitting on my seat jog any memories? Does it feel familiar?
It feels familiar, but there are no specific memories that come to your mind.
I put my staff in the tube holder.
The display case is locked. Actually, hang on a minute while I find it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The display case opens perfectly easily for you. You open the display case, you can put your staff in.
Okay, so I put my staff in.
It fits nicely.
Glad that it fits nicely.
Yeah, and that gives you free hand since you're carrying the map in the other hand.
I guess I'll go just peek out this window and make sure that see if it connects with the tower at all. Okay, so it kind of does, but there's no tower. Looks very solid.
Basically, the windows are designed so that you can open them and walk through them to provide for the defense of the tower. You can stand up there and fire missiles down on your enemies from there. There's a whole chapter in your holy book about that.
Yes.
Raining down hell on your enemies from above.
Yes, it's very sound.
Are you going through that door, Vernon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice battlements.
I have to say, Nicodemicus, I very much approve of the structure so far.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Give me a team of dwarves, and we could hold this place for years.
Are you trying to apply for Oberon's job? Because Oberon's is he didn't work out so well. No offense, Oberon. Sorry, I didn't see you standing there.
No.
Odrin says, "Sir," he says, "please. I've been faithful to you for years."
Yeah, sorry. You did a fine job.
He says, "It's unfair of you to expect the superhuman things from a mere mortal like me. I'm not like you, sir."
Well, I kind of assume I'm mortal, and I laugh uncomfortably.
Well, yes, but of course, Nicodemicus, you can't disagree. Nobody's quite like you.
No, this is true.
You are quite old.
And sitting on my days on my seat, I look down on my companions and I think, yes, Jan, you are correct.
Anyway, I think I'll kind of look over at Audrey and that's not keep getting his name wrong.
Odrin.
Odrin.
Odrin. Odrin.
Odrin.
Oh, there it is. Odrin. Yeah, I'll look over to him and just kind of give him a slight wink.
Yeah, I'll tell him. If what you're saying is true, you've done an extraordinary job. To remain loyal for that long is it's hard to come across loyalty like that these days. If we've found.
Well, it's quite easy. I have a loyalty such as this on a scroll in my belongings somewhere. It's called geese. I've kind of assumed this Oberon fellow has also been geesed, but who knows?
I think it's more the fact that you trapped him here, but
Muhahaha.
aside from that,
Nicodemicus, he's a goose? Did you polymorph him to a goose? What are you saying?
To several geese.
Yes to both questions.
I'm not familiar.
Say, Odrin, you mentioned something about a wine cellar. I think this would be a fine occasion to break open the good stuff. Maybe the Fireball Special.
He says, sir, I've never been allowed to go down there. He says, I don't even know if any of these keys will open the door. I've never gone to the dungeon.
Well, let's go down there and grab a couple of bottles.
He looks extremely dubious of the concept, but he heads for the door.
You slow down.
And gets on the staircase. Oh, wrong side. Gets on the staircase. Yes,
Chris, real quick, is there any indication of who crafted the stonework of this fortress?
the stonework of the fortress is not in any way particularly unusual. It is probably human. They don't use certain dwarf techniques that the dwarves insist are better and the humans don't care about. So it does look human. It looks like it was made by someone who knew their work, though, a mason or masons who were experts. Odrin steps onto the stairs and says, "Hush!" And the stairs begin to rotate in the other direction and carry him downward.
Do the same thing as soon as possible to keep up with him.
Well, you just have to walk. You just have to walk behind him. It's like any escalator. You just get behind him and he'll go on. And when he gets to the ground floor, he says the word again, and the staircase pauses briefly and then continues to rotate. And momentarily, I will get you into the dungeon. And there you are. And I will reveal some of the corridor. The corridors of the dungeon level lit. And Nicodemicus left his staff in the display case.
Well, I can see.
Yeah, you can.
And I have a torch.
Nicodemicus. We got a problem, Nicodemicus.
Yeah. Okay. I'll get my staff.
Yeah, I know it looks good there, but
But I leave my scroll tube with the map in the cabinet.
Okay, so you put that in there and you close the door?
Yeah. Then I move back.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, and let's see. Anybody else that I didn't get down there, you guys can go ahead and drag into the location. So let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, you've got light all the way back to there, so let me get the polygon revealer out and reveal, and in the other direction all the way to...
Labyrinth.
Which way, Odrin?
He says, I don't know. I've never been here before.
He's never been down here.
He says, I don't know where it is.
Remember? He's always been too scared to go down here. He's been saying that ever since the beginning.
Yes.
He holds his ring of keys out for Nicodemicus to take. He says, I don't know if any of these keys are the right one. Or if indeed there's even an ordinary lock on the gate.
Well, I take the key ring and I give it to Oldar.
Okay.
Oh, look, there are doors over there.
I just follow Order.
Let's go there.
Is there supposed to be? Oh, is that just a skinny corridor?
Hang on a minute. I'm going to turn the grid off because this map is too claustrophobic for the grid. Okay, grid's off. You guys can move wherever you want to. Armstrong is in the darkness. All right.
Hello.
Ah,
Okay, there he is. I lost him in the void.
Armstrong.
Actually, you're still down here, but anyway.
I move to the doors over there. See what's up here.
If you like, I'll take the rear.
Go ahead, Odron.
Neither of the doors that you're looking at are apparently locked.
Well, I don't think my wine cellar is over here, but the doors are unlocked. So shall we take a peek? I mean, who knows what we'll find?
What's Odron's status?
He's nervous looking. He looks very nervous.
I'm also invisible.
He looks extremely nervous.
Extremely nervous.
Yeah. In the dungeon, he's terrified.
Just stay in the middle.
I tap Jan so he knows I'm actually here because I have my ring on. I say, Jan, I'm right here.
Yeah, you don't want Jan running over you. You'd feel that.
Yeah, Jan,
What?
I'm right here in front of you. Just don't run me over.
Don't get under my feet. I mean, I'll try not to, but honestly, Vernon,
And then the fight began.
I can't watch out for what I can't see.
Let's switch spots.
Okay.
I'll switch spots. I'm behind you now. I got the rear.
I open the door in front of me.
Okay, so the door in front of you opens into a room.
We didn't expect that.
Is there any dust or anything on the ground? Yeah, we should have inspected before we trudged through.
Into a room 15 by 15. Standing centered against the far wall of this room is an ornate wood-framed elliptical mirror on a stand designed to allow it to easily swim. You see your own reflection staring back at you, which is strangely alarming for a moment until you realize you apparently have any magic. Arranged against the left and right walls are long tables, are basically empty except for a single small pile of papers on the nearest corner of the right-hand table, and various wooden and metal implements laid out in rows on the left-hand table. Underneath both tables, you see a substantial pile of broken glass. The few recognizable fragments suggest that the glass was once alchemical vessels of various kinds.
I look at the mirror.
As I described it, it is a wooden framed stand that allows it to be rotated and tilted. It does not appear to be magical. While ornate, it doesn't have any magical.
I try to rotate it to catch Oldar's reflection.
Okay, well, great. So Aldar can see himself now.
Look, Oldar. I cast mirror image.
Oh.
Oh my goodness, is that my face? I look terrible.
Well, blame your mother.
Oh,
It looks like this was my alchemical, either laboratory or my room where I put stuff that I didn't use anymore.
well, the large amount of broken glass under the table seems rather strange.
Also, I might have not been so good at alchemy by the looks of it.
Vernon, there is very little light where you are. Oh, did you just light a torch?
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm lighting a torch and leaving it right here so we can see our way back.
Okay.
I put a comforting hand on Audrin's shoulder and propel him forward.
Okay. He moves down the painfully narrow corridor.
What kind of implements are lying on the table?
The table on the left has numerous spoons, both wooden and silver, several wooden rods that appear to have been used for stirring, 2 pairs of small iron tongs and 1 large pair, and a wire match holder and matching candle snuffer made of steel. The silver items are mismatched and badly tarnished, as if you just picked up whatever you could for the purpose. There are papers on the table on the other side.
Oh, I look through the papers.
They are notes in your handwriting.
Oh.
None of them appear to be notes. They are mostly pages of mathematical calculations, alchemical, so forth, none of which you understand anymore. And as I say, none of them appear to be complete.
Wow, I used to be so boring. Look at all this stuff. Well, nothing here of interest, I think. So certainly no wine. Shall we open this door?
Go for it.
Yeah.
I open this door.
Okay.
Hey, Chris, real quick, before we go that way, I want to just look at the ground right here and just look for any footprints in the dust or any signs of activity or anything.
These corridors don't look big enough for a gelatinous cube, but you'd suspect one from the cleanness of the floor.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, you broke out. I didn't hear really anything you said.
I said the floor of the dungeon is unusually clean. You would suspect a gelatinous cube if the corridors were bigger, but they're just not big enough to accommodate one.
Interesting.
Nicodemicus must have invented the runicba.
Nicodemicus, the room you've just opened is a mess, and it smells bad, too. There's boxes and barrels that have been broken open and their contents spilled out. They seem to have contained such various things as dirt, animal organs preserved in foul-smelling chemicals, tiny crystals, peat moss, and other things that are harder to identify. You see nothing in this room that seems an.
Well, embarrassed, I close the door quickly and look at my companions and say,
Well, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute before you close the door. That's a surprise check. So you are surprised as you open the door as horrifying looking rats surge out of the mess and move to attack you. They are giant rats, to be sure, but they don't look particularly healthy. One might suggest they might be zombies. Or some kind of other undead because of the whiteness of their eyes and the patches of flesh falling off of them. Doesn't seem to impede the first two as they advance on you. And roll to hit. And it looks like, Nicodemicus, you've been hit once. I'm going to need a saving throw versus petrification from you, please.
Oh.
Doesn't mean that necessarily it's what you think it is, but
Right.
but you took 4 points of damage, and I need a saving throw. So
yeah, save throw versus you broke up a little bit. Petrification.
petrification. Okay. Well, good. You succeeded at your saving throw, but you did take 4 points of damage, and now, well, the good news is apparently they don't move any faster than zombies. So you may go ahead and take a move.
Yeah.
Everybody can go ahead and move once.
Oh, I have noted the hit points down. Extract myself.
Oh, everybody can move?
Yeah, everybody can go ahead and make one round worth of movement attacks if you want.
Extract my salvation, and that's all I do.
I do a do-si-do with Audrin and shove him behind me.
Yeah, he is perfectly happy to run his ass in the other direction. Advance the other way, as far as the torch, anyway.
I'm invisible, so when it gets to that point, I put my arms out and basically stop him.
Yeah.
And I become visible, and I say, "Where do you think you're going?"
Away from those nasty rats.
All right. Well, you can stay right here with me.
So, Jan, were you going to attack or something?
Yes, if I can attack from there, I'll go ahead and attack them.
You can.
Alrighty.
Well, that'll hit.
Alrighty.
How sad.
Well.
That did not kill the rat.
Oh, well. Every little bit helps, I guess.
Okay. So, that was your action. Anybody else taking an action this round other than who's hiding in the corner? Bite Strong is not fond of the rats. He's growling but holding his ground rather than advancing. Armstrong, Aldar, are you going to do anything? There's only really space for one of you there.
That's fine.
Okay, I'll take the lead, and as I suspect there are some kind of undead rats, I try to turn them.
Okay, go ahead.
What shall I roll?
Just try zombies. I can adjust from. Okay, yeah, no problem. So Aldar is successful, and on their action, they back them. Oops, I can't move. I got Jan too. I don't want Jan. They back into the back of the room. Foulness in that room. They were hiding under. They are now cowering.
If I can move ahead and close the door,
Sure.
I do that.
So you've closed the door.
Yeah.
Do we want to spike it shut? I have a spike.
Okay.
I'll ram a spike in with my mace.
All right. So you've spiked the door shut.
Okay.
What next?
Audrin, this is what we do, so just calm yourself down, stay with me, you'll be fine. Don't go running off.
I guess that was not the wine room, right? Shall we go the other way? This was the undead. I think you were kind of a necromancer, Nicodemicus.
Yeah, I sure hope not. But what else would cause the necromantic energies to raise these rats from the dead? I mean, it is worrying to me.
All right, Audrin. The rats are contained.
He says, "Oh, thank you, sir."
You just stick close to me, and I'll make sure that nothing happens to you.
Faithful servant, have you ever seen me raise the dead?
He says, "Do you mean like zombies?"
Yes.
No, I've never seen you do that. You always said it was the lazy wizards.
The lazy wizard. Oh, I see.
So Aldar has 14 hit points. How much does Nicodemicus have?
In total or now?
Oh, you have 13, okay. Who wants the Ring of Invisibility to hold on to use, just in case, out of you two?
Give it to Aldar.
Okay. Aldar, I'll give you the ring.
But I make too much noise with the armor. I don't feel like getting naked today.
Alright, well, I'm holding a torch, so I mean, I'm not really sneaking anyway, so.
Oh, okay. I'll take the ring of invisibility then.
Alright, so I'm looking at the ground with the torch as well. It's still like really clean, and I turn to Jan and I say, "Look, this is unusually clean, isn't it? You don't suspect he's been down here cleaning like he's cleaned the rest of the place?"
No. Still, if the dungeon has been, or if this area has been sealed and sealed well, you might find little dust, although that doesn't explain no dust. So,
Torch is yours.
Yeah, I can't grab it though. Oh, there you go. Cool, got it.
I had to hand it over to you.
the only other thing is that, maybe it's being kept dust free by magic. I mean, we did see evidence that.
Oh, you got a torch over there. Hang on a minute. Let me finish that corridor for you. I wasn't even paying attention to where you were standing. You have found the wine cellar. Found the wine cellar and the rat cellar both.
Okay, so we have a little grate over there.
The gate is a metal gate made of a strange gray metal. Jan, it is a dwarven metal that you have seen before, but that is rarely, if ever, taken out of dwarven territory. Humans just do not normally have access to it. It's a prized metal among the dwarves because rust monsters can't corrode it.
Huh.
Yes, it is a special metal, and the dwarves love it, and they don't share it. But some dwarf apparently shared it with Nicodemicus at some time in the past.
Okay.
The gate has a lock holding it shut. It's a padlock. The lock is made of the same material.
All right. So, Nicodemicus,
Yes.
you need to come up here.
Actually, Aldar has the keys. Nicodemicus said he handed it to Aldar.
Oh yeah, and Aldar. So Nicodemicus,
Yes, Jan.
you obviously had a lot of influence with some dwarf at some point, because, well, we don't let that metal go, and I cannot think of any reason why you would have it in your tower.
Well, as you know, I do have a certain way with dwarves.
Certain way with dwarves.
Well, yes, I have noticed that, but you did something nice.
Inside the room beyond the gate, the walls are lined with wine racks, which are heavily laden with bottles and casks.
Ooh.
Can I see if they have dust on them?
Yes, the bottles are dusty. The floor looks clean, though.
Okay. So do I find the key that opens the?
You do find a key on the ring that opens the lock.
Okay, so
You would have to assume that Audrin's statement about not coming down here is true, since A, he had a key, and B, if he took any wine out of that cellar, you can't tell it looking at it. It's packed.
okay, so which one, Nicodemicus? You come here, choose.
Is there any dwarven? Is there any?
Chris, is this all I see?
Nicodemicus looks around his wine cellar. It comes to him that he put the best vintages furthest from the gate. The diagonal wall at the back of the is where the best bottles are.
Are there any dwarven drinks?
Not a single one. There's a whole section of elf wine just on that wall alone, but there's also one bottle. It's in what you could describe as the place of honor, right in the center of the wall, in a slot in the rack that has a little bit of gilding on it that is kind of flaked off over time, but there's still some gold there. The bottle is a pale white wine, and there is no label on the.
This bottle looks special, like I was saving it for some sort of special occasion.
Maybe this occasion.
Yes.
Like today?
We should save it for when we clear the dungeon.
Oh,
We have a nice one now, and then the best one once we secure your tower.
I think it's going to be best if we roam a little, but we head up again before we.
We gotta get some wine, boys.
Yeah, we got it.
Chris, is this all I see?
That's all you can see until you move forward. The wall's in your way. The weird-shaped alcove there, off the diagonal alcove out there to your right, there are two chairs and a large barrel. Lying on the seat of one of the chairs is an unsheathed dagger. The barrel is taller than you, so chairs are not particularly fancy.
Okay, so I shine the light over top of the dagger. Does it appear to be anything special?
It's just a dagger as far as you can see.
Okay. I'm gonna inspect the area for traps.
Hang on a minute. Whilst I roll that, you do not find any traps.
Okay. I'll pop open the top of the barrel. Take a look in.
Looking at the top of the barrel, you see that it is scarred with multiple strikes from the point of a dagger. Also, the barrel is most definitely empty as you try to get up and see the top of it fairly easily. So it's obviously empty.
Is there any blood around the area?
Not that you see.
Okay. And then this corridor this way, is that as far as it goes?
That's as far as you can see. Oh, see a little further now because you
Right, okay.
got a little closer. Oh, you keep going down there. Okay, so I'll give you another 10 feet. Or 5 feet, rather.
Okay. Alright, I don't want to get too far ahead. Alright, there's a corridor that heads to the south. There's a dagger up there. I don't know. Jan, you might want to take a look at the dagger. I mean, you're good with weapons. I don't think it's anything special though.
Well, daggers are get out of my specialty, but I'll take a look.
I don't think it's anything out of.
So, is it up there in this like diamond shape?
Yeah, in that alcove, and you find, as I described to him, 2 chairs and a barrel. Either one of the chairs is a dagger. It is a dagger of human make. It is of very mediocre quality,
And
but it apparently had been being kept sharp. It is dusty, as are the chairs and the barrel, but the floor is clean.
huh,
I guess I was overthinking.
just for the heck of it, I'm gonna pick up the dagger
Okay,
and fling it into the barrel top.
it sticks.
So somebody was playing. Does it look like somebody was playing that? I don't know what that game is called, but where you
The finger game where you go around the
where you
finger.
stick the daggers and.
It could have been, although as Vernon said, it seems like there'd be some blood there from somebody screwing up at some point.
Yeah, that's what I was checking.
But whoever was there was obviously stabbing the dagger into the top for some reason.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they were bored. The Audrin said that Nicodemicus had bodyguards, right?
He did.
So, I mean, this obviously, I mean, this looks kind of like a place where you could keep an eye on the big wide corridor
Yeah.
and keep an eye on this other corridor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good outlook spot, and he's probably just sitting there chilling, shooting the crap.
I mean, if I was stuck in a basement with just a chair, a barrel, and a dagger, I'd probably do the same thing.
Audrin doing down here? Where you going?
He's sitting on the steps.
Do we want to check out this other door before we go down the corridor?
Oh yeah, there's one more. There's one more door. Let's check that out.
Oh, okay.
Actually, he's backed up again. No, that's right. He's to the left. Yep. Okay, never mind. He's sitting on the steps. Yep. What did you say?
I said there's one more door. Let's check that door out.
Okay. Octagonal room. Gotcha.
Before we pop open this bad boy.
Okay, so who's going to open the room up?
Well, it's your tower, Nicodemicus.
Yes. Well, if you want to hold my the special wine bottle for me, I'll open it up.
Yeah, sure.
That's a cigar humidor.
That could be.
That would actually be rather nice.
So I open the door.
The floor of this room is made of slate. A narrow podium stands against the south wall here, like it's been pushed back there. There are a few random chalk marks on the slate floor. It's a black slate floor, not the light gray that you see around every. As I say, there are some random chalk marks here and there, like marks were made and then erased incompletely.
Oh, this is where I summoned my demons, I believe.
Oh, you shouldn't say that so glibly, but that's what it looks like.
So I step in.
Okay. As I say, the only furnishing in the room is the podium standing against the.
Does the chalk markings do they look familiar, or do they look? Do I know what they mean?
They really don't. If the markings were made by you during some match, obviously erasing them completely wasn't important, but they have been erased. So
It looks kind of like the whiteboard does after I've gotten finished with my lecture.
exactly so.
Just a few stray curves and stuff. Anything on the podium, Nicodemicus?
Nicodemicus, are you going to examine the podium? Jan has asked.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I would, because
You find a small drawer. It's down here in the south section, Nicodemicus, right here. You find a small drawer.
With chalk.
Well, yes, there's a piece of chalk in the drawer. There is also a let's see, piece of slightly worn chalk, an ornate smoking pipe
I pick up.
with some ashes still inside it,
Hey.
a fire starter made of brass with a charred bit of rope still in it,
Hmm.
A pair of spectacles, and a scrap of paper.
Oh, I pick up the spectacles.
Okay.
Do they? If I put them on, do they look like I? Can I see more clearly through them? Do they feel like they belong to me?
They do feel like they belong to you. You think maybe you might see a little better with them. You're not really sure. You get the feeling that maybe they were intended.
Yeah, intended for what?
I'm sorry, I lost you, Chris.
Reading glasses.
Right, okay.
This explains my weird headaches at times, but okay.
Heh.
There's a pipe.
There is a pipe.
I smell the pipe.
It smells like your favorite pipe weed. Faintly because it's old.
Well,
Fire starter, which consists of a charred piece of rope held in a brass holder with a flint and steel attached to it, so that you can strike a fire on the charred end of the rope. Light your pipe and then pull the rope down into the brass to put it out.
Nice.
handy.
It's a common sort of fire starter. You recall having used it. It actually feels comfortable.
Oh.
And as I say, there is a scrap of paper lying in there also.
Oh yeah, a scrap of paper. I see what the scrap of paper is all about.
The scrap of paper has words written on it. Red Dog Inn, 20 Taurus 987, 52 GP. It is not your handwriting.
Look at this, guys. What do you make of it? It's not in my handwriting, but it's sort of like a puzzle, I think.
You said 987?
There, typed it in for you guys.
Is Taurus
A month.
As a month, yes. The World of Glane uses zodiac signs, and I've never bothered to create new names for them. So
right? Here's the thing. 987. The last date was
986,
986.
986.
and it's 999 now. Fall of 999.
So someone was here a year after you left, Nicodemicus.
And left behind a scrap of paper in a podium.
Yeah, and what was what does the Red Dog Inn? Oh, the Red Dog Inn, like an inn.
It does not ring a bell with you.
Oh,
You don't remember a Red Dog Inn. You have no idea what this is about, but the handwriting, the neat handwriting that is written, is not yours.
why would anyone leave? Yeah, are these directions, or are there? Why would anyone leave a scrap of paper here?
Well, of course, you might have left it here.
Yeah,
If somebody gave it to you, you might have laid it down.
Like a receipt?
this could also just be trash to me. Maybe I've put it in here to not worry about it.
Maybe you owe someone some money, and they were coming to collect their due, and you weren't here, so they left it for you.
Is this your handwriting? No, or not?
No.
I wonder if it's Audrin's handwriting.
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, I'd say keep it anyway.
Grab that pipe. Is there any tobacco laying around, or is there any good leaf laying around in there?
There's not.
It's stuffed with pipe.
No, it's full of ashes. It needs to be knocked out.
It's all. It would all be dry anyway. Well, that's a bummer.
Well, I've got some for you that you can have of mine, Nicodemicus, for later.
Yeah, let's go up. Let's go upstairs and pop that wine and pass the pipe around, and then we'll think on this letter.
That sounds like a plan.
I'm more inclined to. I'd really like to know where that corridor goes.
Yeah, you want to go to the end of it real quick?
I just don't like leaving mysteries behind me.
And I don't like. Yeah, exactly. Odrin. I don't like leaving him behind me. Can someone stay with him?
I will happily.
All right, I'll give you the torch so you can see. Armstrong, I'll leave it there for you.
All the guy has is a dagger. It's not like he's gonna do much.
I know, I just don't want him to flee and go activate some type of friggin' magic nuclear bomb or something.
So you're depending on Nick right now.
Like he goes and summons a demon.
Well, he can't because we've got the chalk.
There's some kind of joke from the old days about summoning demons all over somebody's hard drive that I don't remember now.
2 doors.
Looks similar to the other. Well, never mind. No, it doesn't. Is it still perfectly clean over here?
The floors are clean.
But the walls?
The walls are dusty a little bit. I mean, the dust doesn't really stick to the walls that much, but
I'm betting on there's probably some kind of enchantment to keep the floors clean.
So peculiar. All right. I'll take a listen at these doors.
Okay, let me roll over here quick.
50%.
You hear nothing.
Yeah, I think it's clear, guys. Back up and let the strong guys get up in front.
How's this guy acting? Is he acting nervous?
No, he's just sitting there. He looks kind of bored, actually. He's let's see, real quick. He's petting Bite Strong. Bite Strong loves him.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You weren't petting them rats. I seen you run away.
So what are we doing here?
Which one you want, Nicodemicus? Here or here?
Yeah, do that one.
This one?
Do that one.
All right. Well, I will open that door.
Okay. This room is mostly empty except for a few metal items in the far left-hand corner. A few gears, a couple of long rods, open metal box with a few strange holes in the side are the only items present.
Okay. Weird mechanical stuff.
You would say the construction is human. It's exceptionally good, but it is definitely human construction.
Some kind of clockwork for
There's not enough parts there to hardly even use in the same pit of teeth. They won't mesh with each other.
like almost like it's just a pile of spare parts.
Kind of looks that way.
Well, maybe I finished my iron golem here, and this is what was left.
Jen can't rule that out since he doesn't know how iron golems work. So,
Well, I do know that every time the smiths work on the automated forges, there's always a few extra bits left over. Yeah, I mean, they aren't made of anything special, are they?
I am impressed by my own.
So I don't know. If you want, I'll open the other door.
Yeah, let's just clear the area and just make sure there's nothing, and then we'll go up and have some wine.
Oh, bit of a corridor.
Oh, jeez.
no, just not done lighting it.
Oh, bit of a room.
The far wall of this room is lined with small cages stacked one atop another. Several of the cages stand open, but most are closed. A long, narrow table stands against the right-hand wall. A variety of glassware is arranged. Some of it has been toppled and broken. Along the left-hand wall, you see 4 large wooden buckets with lids, all of which are overturned and appear empty.
Well, you were right, Nicodemicus. You did leave some of the cages open.
There are 7 cages out of 36 that are open. As Jan approaches, he sees that the remaining cages have the desiccated sized in them.
Sorry, what? You're breaking up again.
The cages that are still closed have the desiccated carcasses of ordinary sized rats.
Okay, and then there's...
I must have.
And how many rats attacked us?
6.
6.
And there are 7 cages open.
Okay, there's 1 rat unaccounted for.
In one of the barrels.
I must have really liked rats.
Guess I'll look in the open cages just to make sure they're empty.
The open cages appear to be the same as the closed ones, except that there's no rat bodies in them.
Okay, well, and then there were...
Nicodemicus, back up.
They've been dead for so long that they've dried up to the point that you barely smell death.
Right. And you said there were buckets with lids that were overturned and empty?
Yep.
Okay. Well, and there was a table.
Along the right-hand wall,
And
north wall, lined with alchemical glassware, some of which has been broken. None of the glassware, none of the vessels on that table contain any liquids or materials at all. They appear to be empty, like the apparatus was set up, but either never used or cleaned before he left. You can't tell one from the other, so.
Yeah. All right. Quick glance under the table just to finish it out.
You don't see anything under the table. Pieces of glass from broken glassware.
All right. Well,
scattered.
Up on the top of those buckets. Barrels.
Buckets are tipped over. There are no barrels in the room.
All right. I thought they were upside down.
No, they've been toppled over sideways, like something knocked them over to clean them out.
Ah, okay. Right.
I think there's
There's
one barrel over here, right?
That's a full-sized barrel. That's big enough to put Jan in.
Yeah, and it's empty. Well, there's another rat around here somewhere.
It's 9:05, guys, local time, so it's probably time to call it on this session.
You guys want to go back up and pop that wine open?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Sounds good to me.
Say we go back. I say we go back up to that throne room.
Yeah, we can end up there.
Have a nice nice wine and some smoke. Open the windows up and chill in the throne room.
You guys can go ahead and go up there if you want to, and leave your character in the courtroom, as it were, and we will pick up from there next time.
Okay.
So, yeah, and all right. So I'll see you guys next week.
Sweet, thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys, man.